Hi, this video is about three princesses of Kashi, Amba, Ambika, and Ambalika. To quickly recap the last video, King Shantanu has passed away and he leaves behind two boys, Chitrangada and Vichitravirya, in the safe hands of Bhisma. We are into Adi Parva right now, which is the first Parva of the 18 Parvas of Mahabharata. Parva means a chapter. Adi Parva started with video number 2 with the story of King Bharata. Growing up, Chitrangada was very arrogant. He dies at an early age in a fight at the hands of a Gandharva also named as Chitrangada. Vichitravirya grows up as a weakling. The name Vichitravirya means someone odd and not masculine. Everyone was worried that no one would marry him and he would not be able to find a wife for himself. At the same time, the king of Kashi had three daughters named Amba, Ambika, and Ambalika. He had set up a Swayambara for them. Swayambara is a marriage ceremony where various kings would be invited, and in that Swayambara, his daughters could choose the king that they want to marry. Hastinapura was not invited to participate in this ceremony. There were two reasons for that. First, Shantanu had denied in the past a proposal for marriage for Bhishma with the sisters of King of Kashi. And second, the King of Kashi was not sure if Vichitravirya was a capable king. Satyavati felt insulted that Hastinapura was not invited. She asked Bhishma to go and abduct the three princes of Kashi from the Swayambara for Vichitravirya. At that time, Bhishma opposes the decision and he was not comfortable to abduct the princess, as he very well knew the one who abducts is the person who ends up marrying. Satyavati knew Vichitravirya couldn't do this task, so she orders Bhishma to go and abduct the princess for the benefit of the kingdom for Vichitravirya. Bhishma reluctantly agrees. Bhishma goes to the Swayambara, and when he goes there, everyone at the Swayambara, all the kings, were very scared of him. They all knew about his power, but they also made fun of him, as they all knew that he had taken a vow to never marry. Bhishma realized this and he announced that he was here at the Swayambara to take the three princesses for his brother Vichitravirya. One of the kings in the assembly, King Shalva, challenged Bhishma for a fight. Bhishma was very powerful. He was able to fight King Shalva and everyone who came his way, and he won over all of them. Bhishma now takes the three princesses back to Hastinapura. On the way back, one of the three princesses, named Amba, tells Bhishma that she is in deep love with the king of Shalva, who had originally fought with Bhishma in the assembly, and that the king of Shalva also loves her. Bhishma very well knew that in such a situation, according to the Vedas, he could not force her to marry his brother. So he lets her go to King Shalva and also sends an escort with her so that she could safely reach there. Amba goes to King Shalva. He refuses to accept her as Amba was already won over by Bhishma. Amba was shocked. She goes back to Bhishma and asks that she get married to Vichitravirya as Shalva had rejected her. Vichitravirya rejects Amba as well, and he says that she was already given to King Shalva. How could he marry her? Amba is terrified and very angry now. She asks Bhishma to marry him, given that he had abducted her and there was no one willing to marry her now. Bhishma rejects her plea and tells her that he has taken a vow to never marry. Amba gets furious at Bhishma and now wants to kill Bhishma because she feels that Bhishma has ruined her life. She asks every king possible to fight Bhishma, but no one agrees because they all knew how powerful Bhishma was. Finally, she goes to Parshurama, who was Bhishma's teacher. Parshurama felt the trouble of her situation and felt for her and challenged his student to a fight with him. After several days of fighting, both Parshurama and Bhishma give up and no one wins. Amba was super terrified. Her revenge was not taken. She started doing a lot of penance, and after doing a lot of penance, Lord Shiva appears to her and gives her a boon that in her next life she would be instrumental in killing Bhishma. Amba was born in her next life to King Drupada as a daughter, and her name was Shikhandi. Back at Hastinapur, Vichitravirya was crowned the king. He marries Ambika and Ambalika. He was overindulgent with everything to such an extent that his body became sick and he dies soon after his marriage before giving birth to any children. Now, none of Satyavati's sons ruled as a king, and even her last son, Vichitravirya, dies without giving birth to any future possible king. She was in deep sorrow. Let us reflect on some of the insights from this story. We can see that the quality of kings over time is deteriorating. In video 2, we saw that King Bharata chose the best person possible as a king after him, even if it meant that the person was not one of his sons. King Shantanu, on the other hand, could not get Bhishma, who was a very capable king, to become the king. That is primarily because his desire to marry Satyavati at an old age led to Bhishma taking a terrible vow to renounce the kingdom. The second insight was that we are all seeing that the quality of life for women is also deteriorating. Previously, at the time of King Bharata, Ganga could choose who she marries, but in the case of the princess Amba, Ambika, and Ambalika, they were won over by Bhishma or whoever who was strong, and their choice of who they get married to was secondary. This is huge. The third insight was about overindulgence. Vichitravirya made his body sick because of overindulgence to the extent that he eventually died. We should all use our senses in a way that is reasonable and not overindulge in them because we would die if we overindulge and misuse the powers that are given to us. Think. Even for Bhishma, he did not make a firm decision. Like, he decided that he did not want to go and abduct the three princesses, especially when he was not comfortable. Eventually, he succumbed to Satyavati and goes and abducts the three princesses. That causes Amba to have a huge sense of revenge for him. Bhishma could have said no and make a firm decision, but he does not make a decision. And no one could have challenged his decision. This is one of the first few mistakes that Bhishma makes in his careers as a as a as a as someone who helps the kingdom, right? So this was very important. Even after terrible sacrifices, we are seeing that Satyavati's wishes are not being fulfilled. None of her sons ruled the kingdom, but on the contrary, Bhishma was meant to rule the kingdom, And he does rule the kingdom, but not officially, right? Think. Would the people of Hastinapur have no king for them? What happens next? To find out, stay tuned for the next video. If you got value from this video, subscribe to my channel in YouTube. If you have questions for me, add them in the comments section below. Thanks for watching.